I'm recording these back to back, so don't think that I'm gross and I just wear the same shirt for the whole week. Well, I could have washed it and just worn it again, but well, we're going to be talking about this time. What is up, everyone? What is going on? My name is Matthew Lang. I'm the football boss, and today we're going to be looking at the top 10 best games of the 2022 NFL season. I was originally going to go 15. Actually, I was going to go 25. I did 10 again. Yeah, this was a little difficult because I kind of struggled to find really good games because there were a lot of meh to kind of terrible games. Of course, I don't think this season went as well as the NFL would have thought, though. If not, they definitely wouldn't have put the Broncos and Colts on so many primetime games. But that's kind of the reality of the NFL. Everything is chaos and nothing makes sense. So, with that being said, I think we should get right on into these top 10 games. I do have a couple honorable mentions. I don't have as many as I did for the Game of Thrones ones, though, but I have 4 honorable mentions. One of them is the Seahawks and the Lions. It was 48-45. Seattle, a high-scoring shootout with Geno Smith and Jared Goff. Yeah, that's apparently was a reality last year. Yeah, the highest scoring game of the year, one of the best games of the year, one of the most entertaining games of the year. What the heck was this season? No, another honorable mention, I had the Vikings at the Saints, though. The fact that the Saints almost kicked 2 60-yard field goals, though, basically in the final minutes, though, was pretty awesome, though. It was also very close throughout. I know the Saints were a bit of a disappointment, though, and the Vikings basically just had to kill their fan base every single time they played a game because they couldn't win unless it was a one-score game. But yeah, this was another one of those times where they did that, and yeah, it was a pretty thrilling game. I've seen the highlights. It was a lot of fun. Another one is the Chiefs at the Chargers, though. Sunday Night Football. This was one of the rare instances where we actually had a good primetime game. Yes, that was a reality last year because most of those primetime games were not very good. This one, the Kansas City Chiefs ended up winning 30-27, thanks in large part to a Patrick Mahomes to Travis Kelce touchdown in the last 30 seconds, though. But just in general, it was a back and forth game throughout. There was a lot of thrilling plays, though. Justin Herbert came up clutch sometimes as he wasn't held back by his offensive coordinator and Brandon Staley. But yeah, this was a pretty fun game. And then my last honorable mention, I have the Philadelphia Eagles at the Dallas Cowboys. We didn't get a Jalen Hurts versus Dak Prescott matchup. Maybe we'll get one next year, though. But this was easily one of the best games of the week, though. And this is easily one of Dak's best performances of the year. He was very inconsistent throughout, though. After he threw a pick six early on, Dak Prescott absolutely shined. He came up with some incredible plays, some incredible throws. CeeDee Lamb had a great game, though. Of course, T.Y. Hilton on the 3rd and 30, though. The Eagles had some fantastic plays throughout the game. There was a lot of great catches. It was back and forth, though. Cowboys came back from 2 10-point deficits to win 40-34. Gardner Minshew couldn't quite do it. The mustache was not enough. But at least you got to the Super Bowl and not the Cowboys, though. Now, here we go to our proper top 10 games. I don't have any images for these because I might get copyrighted. I feel like I would get copyrighted, though. So we're not going to do that, though. Number 10, I have the New York Giants at the Minnesota Vikings, the wild card round. This, honestly, was a very fun game, though. Daniel Jones and Kirk Cousins, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Both of them had a duel for the ages. It was back and forth throughout. Daniel Jones had an incredible game. Kirk Cousins had a great game, except for his 3-yard passing play on 4th and 8. Did not make any sense there. I don't know why. But to me, this was a very fun game that I had a lot of fun with, though. I just kind of wish the ending was a little bit better. It wasn't as bad as Game of Thrones, so there's that. Number 9. Yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say that this game easily had to be on here. You had the Buffalo Bills at the Kansas City Chiefs. The rematch of probably one of the greatest games I've ever seen, though. Obviously wasn't as good, though, but Tony Romo did predict the game perfectly, though. Bills end up winning 24-20, thanks in large part to a Dawson Knox touchdown in the final minute, though. But even on top of that, it was also a very close game throughout, though, and it was a lot of fun to see these two quarterbacks duke it out again. Shame we couldn't see it in the playoffs, but we'll most likely see it again next year. If not next year, then sometime later down the line. Number 8, to me, I have the Miami Dolphins at the Baltimore Ravens. This was easily Tua's best game of the season. Tua's got a lot of talent, though, and I don't really feel like people give him enough credit, though. But yeah, this was a fantastic game, though. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle just absolutely went off in this game. Tua had 6 touchdown passes plus a 21-point comeback, though. But on top of that, there was a lot of great plays in this game. Lamar Jackson had a big touchdown run. Rashad Bateman finally did something, though. There was a kickoff return for touchdown. There were some incredible catches, though. Big plays, though. This game was nothing short of entertaining, though. Tua throwing the game-winning touchdown to Jalen Waddle in the back of the end zone. With not a lot of time remaining, though, Dolphins ended up winning 42-38. Easily one of the best games of the year. Then we go to number 7. Okay, this was a controversial game. You have the Cincinnati Bengals at the Kansas City Chiefs for the AFC Championship game. And this game did not disappoint, except for the refereeing, though. But it was once again another very close game throughout, though. Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes dueled it out, but it ended up being the Kansas City Chiefs taking down their kryptonite, though, as Harrison Buckner kicked the game-winning field goal in the last couple seconds, so ended up winning 23-20. But still, this was a very highly entertaining game. He's kind of got to hope that the refereeing was a little better. If the refereeing was a little better, I would put it higher, though. Then we go to number 6, though. I missed this game because, number 1, I didn't really care to see it, though, and also I spent the time watching Avatar: The Way of Water, though, which was actually a pretty good movie, though. You have the Indianapolis Colts at the Minnesota Vikings. The Colts got off to a 33-point lead, and they choked it away, and the Vikings, led by Kirk Cousins, led the greatest comeback in NFL history. Ended up winning in overtime 39-36. That's really all you need to know. Number 5, we have hit the top 5. I have the Carolina Panthers at the Atlanta Falcons. Yes, this was one of the best games of the year. How? I don't know, but that's the case with the NFL. These were two teams that no one really cared about, though. I think everyone was expecting them to be two of the worst teams in the NFL, and especially after the start Carolina got off to. Everyone was like, yep, told you so. Atlanta was a little better than what some people thought, but they still sucked, though. And you know what? This game was apparently for the division lead at this point, and both these teams wanted it. They dueled it out. There were some great plays, great throws. Marcus Mariota and PJ Walker, yes, those two guys played pretty well. And Carolina ended up throwing a Hail Mary. DJ Moore saved them, but then he doomed them at the same time by taking off his helmet, though. And the game ended up, they missed the extra point, went to overtime, although Eddie Pinheiro missed another kick. And then the Falcons ended up winning in overtime, 37-34 for easily one of the best games of the year. Okay, was the NFL on drugs this year? What are these games? Our number 4 game was the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow threw 4 interceptions, fumbled once, and yet Pittsburgh didn't really do a whole lot in this game. That offense really was pathetic, though. Joe Burrow, built up by this new-look O-line, well, or should I say new-look O-line. I think he took 7 sacks in this game, but easily had one of the craziest endings of the year. Joe Burrow throwing a touchdown pass to Jamar Chase in the final seconds, but the extra point got blocked. Game went into overtime, though. Both teams missed a field goal, but the Steelers were able to rebound with a game-winning field goal of their own. Easily one of the craziest endings of the year, and yeah, this had to be on this list. Then we go to number 3. Another fantastic comeback. I am so sorry, Chargers, for bringing this up, though. You have the Los Angeles Chargers at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence probably had one of the worst playoff performances I've ever seen, not including Russell Wilson in the championship game. We still won that game, so maybe playing bad at first is actually a good thing, though. It also probably makes Packer fans a little better. He threw 4 interceptions in the first half, had 4 completions for 16 yards in the first half. That was bad. And he ended up throwing 4 touchdowns in the second half, leading a 27-point comeback, which is the 3rd biggest comeback in NFL postseason history, though, all leading up to the game-winning field goal. And yeah, and you just put Brandon Staley in the hot seat, and maybe the Chargers will thank you for that, but I don't think they were very surprised. Number 2, the runner-up. I was very tempted to put this one at number 1, but once again, refereeing interfered again. You have Super Bowl 57. You have the Philadelphia Eagles at the Kansas City Chiefs. This should have been one of the best games of the year. This game had everything. It had big plays, it had turnovers, and it was just a lot of fun to see these two teams duke it out. They were easily 2 of the best teams of the year. I kind of wish Jalen Hurts got another chance. Would he have done it? I don't know. But there was a good chance we could have had an overtime Super Bowl in this one. Or maybe Jalen Hurts throws the game-winning touchdown. But a very suspect holding call basically ended this game. I was not a big fan of that call. And so because of that, it got bumped down a little bit. But if you take the penalty out of the game, the refereeing was actually fairly good the entire game, though. And it was a very back and forth, and was a thrilling back and forth duel throughout with a lot of great plays. So to me, this is easily one of the best games of the year. But to me, easily the number 1 game of the year was the Minnesota Vikings at the Buffalo Bills. Something I feel like most people actually kind of forget about this game, not including the last 2 minutes and the absolute insanity of that, though. The Buffalo Bills actually got off to a 17-point lead in this game, and the Minnesota Vikings were able to climb back into this game. There were some great catches. There were some great plays. Justin Jefferson and Stephon Diggs were definitely 2 of the main stars of the game, and it was a pretty thrilling game for most of it, though, but easily the best stuff comes in the last 2 minutes. Justin Jefferson coming up with one of the greatest catches I've ever seen, and ending I've never really seen before. Justin Jefferson getting a touchdown, Dalvin Cook dropping a game-winning touchdown, Kirk Cousins couldn't get it in, Josh Allen fumbling the snap, though, a controversial catch with Gabriel Davis, but they did rush to the line, so that's not something I'm like, oh, that was a terrible call. Them tying the game, sending it to overtime, and then, of course, Josh Allen throwing the game-ending interception in the end zone to the Mr. Patrick Peterson. And this game was just awesome. It had you on the edge of your seat. It probably had your mind blown. To me, this was easily the best game of the year and easily one of the greatest regular season games I've ever seen because of the insanity it ensued. So to me, it is easily the number 1 best game of the year. And the NFL ranked this as the number 5 one, so yeah, that doesn't make any sense. It's number 1 to me. This game was awesome. Probably not to Packer fans, though. Yeah, it was a rough year for them. It might get worse. But hey, let me know what you think down below in the comment section, though. This video will probably be my last video of the Football Boss, though. We are trying to get this bigger. And I'm probably not going to post another video until I do, which for some people that probably won't really matter all that much. So, but hey, I'll see you guys next time.